Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my high ELO gamecast. I am Sylphin. In today's video we have two teams decking it out with 2102 ELO versus 2032. Both teams are pretty stacked here with Suki, Prime, J. Leo, and Aikido, somebody that I recognize. No shoes, no service. What a game here. Played about 22 hours as the coordinator of this video, and hopefully we learn what these high ELO players do to be successful. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are looking at the game, pardon me, as we get my ugly face out of there. So here on the blue team, we have J. Leo on Rampage, Suki on Sparrow, Prime as the Fae, Devils May Cry here on Serath, and J. Zinky 28 on Narbash. Nice team here. Looks like we got a Ranger, Jungler, or a support there in the right lane with Serath in the jungle, Fae mid lane, and or off lane actually we're going to see, and Narbash as the support. Never mind. So pretty interesting team there with the orange team as Fear on Kwang, No Shoes No Service on the Fae, Aikido on Grux, PCT on Sparrow, and Moon for Eternity on Rampage. So it looks like here we're going to see where these teams decide to put their heroes. Looks like it's going to be a Fae versus Fae matchup here in the mid lane with Sparrow Rampage on the outside lanes. Junglers looks like it's going to be no, it's going to be the Rampage for the blue team is going to be in the jungle with the Grux here on the orange team, going to be in the jungle with the Kwang on the off lane. So we have Kwang, Serath on the off lanes. We have Sparrow, Narbash, Sparrow, Rampage in the safe lanes with Fae and Fae in the mid lane. So the Kwang versus the Rampage versus Grux in the jungle. The Rampage is going to be a little bit more meta, but I mean Grux certainly is up there as well. Definitely a comfort pick that is very much viable. Nice pick here already here in this orange team safe lane as Athero is busy talking around. We can definitely go back here and see exactly what happened, as that is absolutely within our purview. Looks like we got the rock here from the Rampage ready to go, and yep, there is the 2-second stun here in this early game to absolutely eliminate Devils May Cry there on the Serath. That 2-second stun, man, is absolutely incredible. As you can see there, just landing it there secures the kill. So nothing too interesting for the early game builds. Yep, as you can see, health, potion, and healer tokens, pretty much what everybody gets here. Narbash there, interesting choice of 2 mana potions and the Scout's Ward, but that actually does work quite well, simply because he has that aura to heal, which is very effective here in this early game. So those 2 mana potions does work very well, since you can stun people and just kind of work like that. So definitely very, very nice here. In the mid lane, the 2 Faes going for pretty much exactly the same thing. One chose for mana potion versus the health potion. I prefer that, but I mean, hey, these guys, I should be asking what to do. So do keep that in mind. So in terms of team composition here, looks like the blue team, I would give the blue team perhaps a little bit of the benefit. Although, you know, the Kwang Grux Rampage is pretty scary in the front line versus just the Rampage Narbash and Serath. But in the late game, that Serath is going to be very monstrous. In the front line, and with that Narbash to disrupt and stun and whatnot, that could lead to some pretty sick Serath plays. It looks like Moon for Eternity coming in for that rock with a missed rock, but there's Aikido. Can they kill? Can they get J. Leo? No, is he going to die for it? No, they're not. So a little bit of miscommunication there, as they didn't focus down a single target to really make that happen. Aikido's going to block the projectiles for no shoes, no service. She's going to get out of there. Very, very nice indeed. Looks like PCT's having an easy time poking down Devils May Cry, but looks like they are. She is confident here with the rest, and look at J. Leo's going to be taken out, trying to be a little bit cheeky there, low on health, relying on that passive maybe to get the health back in the jungle, but Keto could smell the wounded animal, and here's Moon for Eternity going for the, and that's going to be an absolutely fantastic dive in. Look at that, but can Keto get out? No, they're not. So it's a 1-for-1. Again, I mean, a little bit of execution issue there. Perhaps could have saved that life there, but hey, they're doing a very good job pressuring this mid lane with the Fae, with J. Leo there on the Rampage getting taken off as well. Orange team doing a very good job here in this early game, putting on the pressure in the mid lane, getting those first few kills. It looks like it is 3-1 for that Orange team. As you know, here in this early game, they are going to be very strong with the Rampage, Grux, and Kwang. All fighters scaling well here in this early game. Whereas the blue team, they're going to scale. They're going to definitely kick in there in the late game with all the control from the Fae, the Rampage, Narbash. It's going to be monstrous, and letting that Serath and Sparrow definitely very hyper carry here. It's going to be absolutely nuts. If the Serath and Sparrow can just go to town in the late game, oh boy, that's going to be absolutely scary for the blue team. For the orange team, rather, simply because 3 of them are very close quarters with Kwang, Grux, and Rampage. They're going to have a tough time. Here's a absolutely fantastic coordinated gank there on J. Leo in his weak jungle. Oh, he's probably hurt. He's probably hurting right now, saying, "Damn it, two deaths, and it hasn't really set anything up." So he's getting bullied absolutely hard here in this early game. It looks like, look at Moon for Eternity just going ham here. Looks like he's gonna want to accommodate something. Look at this, going after Prime like nobody's business. Look at that. The pressure is unreal here in this early game. It looks like Moon for Eternity is going to be a little bit pressured out here as JLu's looking for a little bit of revenge. He is low on health. Can he? No, JLu's forced to retreat there. And looks like this orange team is just using that early game composition. Fantastic Grux and Rampage control in this mid lane to really put the pressure on. Maybe get that early game lead, which they very much need against this very late game scaling blue team. Again, that's going to maybe be the focus here of this early game, or of this entire game rather. Can the blue team hold on? Can they hold on to the little bit of disadvantage that they have on and not let it get into a bigger disadvantage, or can they just stay even with this orange team and scale into the late game? That's going to be the theme here for this team, but as you can see here, the orange team's actually doing a better job here in this off lane, taking down this tower than the blue team, as that Sparrow has and Narbash. Maybe they have been rotating here in this off lane a little bit, but oh boy, it's going to be actually really quite interesting. So in the CP department, it's definitely going to be here for the orange team, as we have 12-10, 11-9, 7 versus 10-9. 887. Absolutely. Looks like here in this early game, No Shoes, No Service doing a fantastic job to take out the blue team's Fae with the little bit of CP lead that this other Fae is going to have. It's going to 2 CP here in the bank, at least over top this other Fae. It's going to add up here pretty soon to be a pretty sizable. Looks like the Serath does get away. The Rock barely missing, and that is 1 dead off lane. So very strong display from this orange team here in this early game to really set the blue team in a very bad spot. They have to scale into the late game, and right now they are looking like they aren't going to be able to. It looks like Suki there is just waiting for that Narbash stun to lay down the hail of arrows to lead into a nice kill, but unfortunately no. Looks like No Shoes, No Service is going to get a little bit of a gank here by J. Leo, but didn't turn into anything. Akito's coming in from the backline on the Fae. Nothing's going to happen as well. She has to decide where to go. Misses the stun, but he does get away with a nice charge away through the Fae's brambles. Looks like here the blue team was able to get the orange team's off lane down just around the same time as the orange team. So it looks like that lead that the orange team had in terms of siege is now pretty much moot. Looks like No Service is in a pretty dominant position here, but no gank here for the blue team whatsoever. Again, let's take a brief moment here as we're nearing the 10-minute mark to take a look at the builds. A Madstone Gem into a Thundercleaver. I'm seeing this more and more, and I really do like it here in the Thundercleaver. Getting that melee basic attack cleave, really strong to get those jungle camps, those minion waves. Getting that CP is very strong, and I do actually really like that. I'm trying that out more in my builds as well. It seems to be quite effective if you can get those camps. That is, of course, the thing, but I very much like it. Narbash here going for Honor the Pure, which is obviously very nice for Narbash's Lord's Ward and some mana potions. So pretty standard across the board, nothing too crazy here. No, very standard. So it looks like a good build here from everybody, indeed. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the 6-1 lead here from the orange team, can they snowball even harder on this blue team that's going to be, you know, hurting even more from the fact that they don't scale very well here in this early game. It's gonna be a tough clawback here for the blue team to try to sit back, farm up, and that seems to be what they are doing right now. PCT is going pretty ham here for Devils May Cry. There's one shot. Oh, very clutch, piercing shot to finish off Serath. Well done. Absolutely fantastic judgment of movement speed, judgment of engaging, and you know what that is? The execution from these high ELO players, knowing exactly how they can go in, take away the enemy team. Absolutely fantastic execution there from PCT. Looks like Kwang here and the Grex were looking to do a little bit of a gank, but they're not going to really be able to very much. Here is Defear. Yes, this is one dead Suki for sure. That is one dead Suki. I'm not sure exactly why, but can Akito here? Oh, clutch. Very nicely done. Looks like Defear couldn't, in fact, stay close here with a very clutch Narbash ultimate there, as he knows that he didn't have any stuns. Akito wasn't there to stun the Narbash out of his ultimate, so looks like Defear, that was 1 or 2 hits away from killing Suki, and that is that Honor the Pure going to town here for the Narbash to save Suki. Here's a little bit of a gank from on the Fae, but no, Moon for Return decides not to go in on the Master's Fae. That is Prime here. Prime having a bit of a tough time here, 1 and 3. As all of this pressure here has been put on him, as maybe the orange team know that he is very strong indeed, very strong player. Maybe putting on the pressure. Looks like that's the orange team. Very nicely done. Grouping up here. Push very hard, pushing the blue team safe lane. And no longer is this going to be safe. So they're going to have a tough time farming up, which is exactly what they need to do in order to stay in this game. That safe lane is no longer safe, as this orange team very easily go right through, right here in the jungle by their Amberlink, but they do have a ward there, so if they can contain that vision advantage, should be very nice. Oh, looks like a 2-person gank here. Absolutely dead Prime as the purple buff. I know my colors. And a very nice gank here by Akito coming over top, as you know, they're putting the pain, absolutely putting the pain to Prime here in this mid lane, not letting him get any sort of easy farm, setting them behind even more. It's going to hurt. It's absolutely going to hurt this blue team, as that is what they have to do. They have to stay safe. They have to farm and try to get that late game scaling to happen. But I mean, it looks like they're not going to be there. It's a 12-minute mark, and already such a dominant display here from the orange team. I'm not sure if the blue team here can hold on for this long. Looks like Narbash is trying to save some kind of, oh, barely misses that stun there as it hits that rock. Looks like Narbash is securing some kind of vision advantage that he definitely needs. He knows that he has to keep this vision advantage in order to stay safe here in the safe lane. Get that hyper carry, get that hyper carry, her CP, and a very smart move here by Jzinki 28 That is exactly what they need to do. Leo doesn't know that there is a ward here right behind him from the orange team, but not much looks like it doesn't look like they're going to be able to act on it very much. Well, even though the Kwang and the Sakido here are looking for something here in this jungle, looks like they're going to come in on Prime, but does Prime smell it? He does. Oh boy. It looks like he was stuck there by a little bit of free. Look at Defeer absolutely getting melted. Wow, that stun was absolutely huge. Looks like Aikido. There is the fantastic 4-person gank here on the mid lane to absolutely turn that around on Prime. Coming to Prime's rescue as maybe he was telling his team he needs a little bit more support here in order to stop feeding the orange team here. Look at that very nice rotation into the Raptor camps. Looks like Prime is going to be the absolute zoning machine, and that's absolutely what he's going to be able to do. Here's Lu with the ultimate. Take out Moon, but no, there's no shoes, no service. Getting the, but here's PCT with the ultimate to absolutely annihilate. Oh, but can they stay safe? Wow, absolutely fantastic peeling done by everybody. Looks like Prime is very low, though. PCT might be able to clean this up. Looks like he is coming in from behind. Can he get Prime with a piercing shot? No, as now he's going to be going here. He's going to have that piercing shot. One piercing shot on Zinky. Absolutely takes him out. Fantastic job here by the orange team, making sure that blue team couldn't get that Raptors too much. Let's go into drone mode here and just check out the Raptors. Were they able to get any? No, they absolutely were not. So very nice job here for the orange team, rallying over that 2-person pick in the mid lane to stop the Raptors and turn that disadvantage into an advantage over the Raptor camp. It looked like the blue team there was gonna do it well, but the orange team did disintegrate here in the bad positioning. So all of those spells that were happening right here definitely they broke up, disabled that from making anything happen, and then they pushed back in as the blue team was nice and low, and they really cleaned it up. So look at this, that forced all the blue team to go back to base, enabling this orange team to have a really easy time taking these Raptors here. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything, but Leo's now going to be coming here. No shoes, no service is going to be, almost the rock there on Leo. Maybe would have been his death, but no, he's going to go back here. Leo is going to be forced to, almost got that stun, but Leo stood around a little bit too long, and that is one dead Leo, trying to make sure that the orange team didn't get that camp, the Raptor camp, but he did pay for it. As you can see here, that the pure lethality of this high ELO play is absolutely monstrous. They know exactly when to engage. They know exactly when, they can kill somebody, and once they commit, boy, it's ruthless. Here looks like the blue team here is going to absolutely take out Defeer very, very nicely. Looks like Zinky now is out of position. Can his ultimate go off to enable Suki to do his damage? No, and here looks like Moon Fortune is going straight after Suki with that health regen, but doesn't look like anything's going to happen with just a 1-person kill there for the orange team. Doesn't look like much is going to be able to come from this, as Suki is forced to retreat. Prime is forced to retreat as well, as now he knows that they're all in the blue jungle. But looks like No Shoes, No Service is getting punished for his very, very aggressive play here. Looks like No Shoes, No Service. Yeah, he's going to go down as he was trying to get Suki, but Leo and Prime and Devil's May Cry is all going over Moon for Eternity. Look at how the game here has been nicely changed, but can Leo get out of there? Absolutely he can. PCT is trying to retreat, as now boy, holy smokes, Prime is going to be chasing Suki here. Looks like he might be able to. Looks like, fantastic juke here by PCT. He knows what they are doing, but PCT is going to go into the, almost got the rock, but wow, fantastic escape there by PCT. Guys, you can see that the execution at these high ELOs is absolutely incredible. It goes back and forth, always taking advantage of that one person that chooses to to chase a kill every now and again. Aikido taking out Prime just to prove my point. Thank you very much, Aikido. Pardon me. As soon as you overstep your bounds just a wee bit, these high ELO players can absolutely punish you for it, and we can see that back and forth chasing kills just a little bit. it's really, 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 really lucrative, as he has a kill equals 1 CP. If you're on a death streak, it's a little bit less, but basically 1 CP's worth of card power for a kill is absolutely lucrative, and that is why these high ELO players are chasing these, taking advantage of people chasing, and really punishing those that choose to be a little bit too greedy. It's crazy. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just barely getting to that part. I'm kind of in the platinum. I know there's platinum, diamond, and then masters, so I'm nowhere near close, but the first hints of that is showing up in my skill level, and boy, it's really hard to overcome. Not overstepping your grounds, not being too aggressive, and getting out of position. So we'll pause here 10 minutes after we've taken a look at the enemy builds here. Let's take a look here at the CP. It looks like the orange team 13-7. Do they have the CP lead? We got 30-28, 20-20. 30-28, 20-20, 32, 22-20 to 20-20. Whoa! With the blue team here absolutely doing an insane job here of farming up, as that is exactly what I said they need to do here. So even though the kills aren't in their favor, I think that 30-28, 20-20 though. Akito here is actually 13. I have no idea why he hasn't been here. Maybe he has maybe he's been trying to secure some kills here, 4-1, but looks like his farm is definitely falling off here, maybe being a little bit too bloodthirsty. I'm not sure. That's really weird. I would definitely think that it would be more, but you know what? I would have to say the blue team has the CP advantage. Builds here looking very damaged Sparrow. Very much damage. Rampage here with the Thunder Cleaver now has it active. Nothing too crazy here for either team. No, absolutely not. A Shadow Scroll Kwang here, so nice bursty to fear, and yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. So if we take a look at the siege department, we see that the orange team is 2 tier 1 towers ahead of the blue team, with both their mid lane and safe lane all intact, with the safe lane not even having a scratch on it at all. Looks like the blue team has just been okay here, sitting back and farming, and you know what? That is a-okay. That is exactly what they need to do in order to stay safe. Let that late game focus of their team composition come into effect, and you know what? That is a-okay. That is a-okay. Looks like Moon for Eternity did miss that rock. Not sure if no shoes, no service would have been able to burst them down anyways, but Jay Zinke and Suki going around like conjoined twins here, tied at the hip. That's exactly what they need to do. Suki being the ultimate hyper carry. That's exactly what she needs, and Jay Zinke is performing his role very admirably. So we can see here Akito is trying to be the ganker machine up here in the top, but you know what, his farm is suffering, and you know what, that might be this orange team's downfall. If maybe he I don't know. I don't really want to place the blame or anything, but I'm simply pointing out that if his farm doesn't pick up, he's going to definitely fall behind very, very much, as you can say here's almost 10 CP behind the blue team. So I find that very, very interesting. Here is a Devil's May Cry on Serath. Whoa, a little replay bug here, being very, very much aggressive. What, absolutely annihilated. Defear absolutely coming in with that ultimate to annihilate the Serath. Absolutely deleted off the face of the planet, as Akito here again absolutely is doing a good job of securing these kills. And you know what? If it might pay off, it absolutely might pay off. Maybe he is purposefully going for more kills just to set them back on their farm, trying to set them back from their farm anyways, and you know, prevent that late game scaling. It's going to be really interesting to see how that's going to play out, as you know, that's a lot of kills, 16-7 for this orange team. But you know, all it takes is a few nice team fights, and the blue team, and if their farm is going to continue like this, they might have that advantage. 35, 32, 25 with 36, 24, 24. So now, guys, I would definitely say the this orange team still has that advantage, as maybe it wasn't there. Oh, Jay Zinke getting absolutely annihilated from that pull from Aikido. Well done. Now Jay Liu is going to come in here for the game. Can he pick somebody off? I don't think so. Both being full health. Not going to make up. Whoa! Replay bug, as he was definitely dead there. Now Jay Liu is going to be taken out here. Absolutely well done. Looks like Moon for entry wasn't able to get Suki there in his safe lane, as he was positioning there very sneakily in order to try to make something happen. As you can see, guys, the orange team is getting those kills, but the farm on Moon for Eternity and Aikido isn't really there. I think this is going to be a replay bug, as I can't see that is actually what his CP is going to be. Let's kind of wiggle every. There we go. There we go. Definitely a bug here, as I didn't think that his CP would be that low. There we go. 36, 38, 34. Absolutely in the orange team favor, as you know what, that I think secures the game here for this blue team. Definitely shouldn't be saying that, but you know, if I was to place my bets, if I had money on this, it would definitely be here on the orange team, as they have secured their early game lead, which even further cements the advantage against this blue team that scales monstrously here in the late game. 2 carries, 1 hyper carry, one being a hyper carry, with a phase support caster and a rampage jungler. So you know what, here is early game domination turning into a snowball against a team that needs to not have that happen in order to have a chance of being successful. Suki again actually doing a really good job here of farming up regardless. 39 still beating everybody, and you can see that is why he is top 5 in Master League, rank in the top 5. And you know what that is? That's what separates us from them. And you can see it absolutely being very effective. Here's Aikido. Devils May Cry needs to be careful. Yeah, that's going to be... No, you don't have the CP for it, nor the scaling. And that is one dead Devils May Cry. Aikido showing his strength absolutely monstrously. There we go. So Seraph there being way too aggressive, needs to have just fallen back, going into her weak jungle. There is a pick on Prime as well. Defeer, absolutely fantastically done. As you can see there, the Shadow Scroll Kwang with that sword into Judgment of Heavens, in Light of Heavens, Judgment of Heavens, ultimate deletion. Well done. Get those picks off, and you know, even put this blue team even more farther behind in the farm department. Let's see if 3 of the blue team here can rally to make something happen here. Let's see. Here's Jay Leo going in crazy. Here's Suki with the fantastic piercing shot to enable the ultimate. Can she do anything though? Oh boy. Yeah, you know, that was probably the right call. That was probably the right call. I feel like a fantastic Sparrow ultimate would have been able to do actually quite a bit here. The Kwang was low, and Aikido was a little bit lower as well. But you know what? I think that was the safe play here by Suki, enabling that the farm to happen. You know, that is the better long range play here. There is that nice piercing shot. Look at the damage on Aikido. Oh, look, Aikido, be careful. Yes, Suki is going to absolutely be able to just melt you down. And we can take a look here with all of these. Oh, Prime, just a sliver of health. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Absolutely crazy. Look, let's see how much health. 0 apparently, but that can't be right, as again a replay bug here for sure. Oh boy. Fantastic piercing shot by Suki here to secure that Orb Prime steal from the orange team. Well done indeed, because that would have been even worse of a push in that mid lane against the blue team. That Orb Prime would have secured probably that inhibitor. If they or had grouped up and pushed mid, that would have definitely sealed their fate for sure. But we're going to have to see here what the blue team decides to do, as here is Devil's May Cry. Yep, trying to gain what farm she can here in the off lane. 29 CP, as off lane is definitely not the greatest for CP. She's going to definitely be scaling monstrously into that very, very late game now. As you can see, 26 minutes and still only 29 CP. But that is just how it is. Here's Defear getting a little bit caught out. Oh, Zinc. Yeah, there is that rock. And absolutely deleted for sure. As he's absolutely melted. Let's go forward 10 seconds and back 10 seconds just to get Prime's health there. As to show. So there's a nice pick here on the orange team's Kwong. Now gives the blue team a little bit of an advantage so that they can secure some siege. There is Suki melting that mid lane tower. Should be able to push onto this tier 2. Is this a tier 2 tower for the orange blue team? Absolutely it is with that Orm Prime here on Suki. Should be this tier 2. Look at that. Chunks out of that tower. There is Aikido. Be careful. The stuns are too much. Suki will be able to melt you. There's that tower. Oh, Suki, press the advantage. Where's your ultimate, baby? There's your... Oh, but the stun from the Aikido. That sets the advantage to PCT, and he is dead as well. Prime is dead, and you can see there that just that those few key errors there. Unable to secure the kill on Aikido in the very early part of that engagement, leading to a very well-played Aikido stun there on Suki to give PCT the advantage. Well played here by the orange team. Fantastic push by the blue team, but you know what, just that individual play of those stuns, of those getaways, gave the orange team that advantage, and it was absolutely nice to see these high ELO players do that. That is one inhibitor done. Looks like this might be game here, as no shoes, no servants, Aikido and PCT might be able to push mid, but no, they're going to play it safe. Head on over to the right lane where Moon for Eternity is already pushing this blue team's left inhibitor. There is 2 inhibitors down for the blue team. Should secure the win here for the orange team. Fantastic scaling in the early game. Fantastic snowballing here in this early game. Fantastic securing of an advantage. And you know what? That's exactly what they needed to do against a blue team composition that scales in the late game. Absolutely what they needed to do in order to secure the win here, as they are retreating, oddly enough, here with no Orb Prime to get. The rest of the blue team spawning in, as they definitely maybe could have rotated left, maybe have gone that tier 2 as well, but playing it safe, getting back, placing down wards, and farming up again. There's a little 1v1 here. Defear on Suki. Defear, you gotta be a little bit careful here. Yes, yeah, there is your advantage gone. And now that you don't have that sort of the Judgment Sword, whatever it's called, Judgment of Heavens. There we go. There's Suki, and absolutely take it. Oh, PCT two-shotting. Oh, Suki, ouchies. As there is Suki getting taken out. Not sure exactly what he was doing, maybe posturing to take out Raptors, but the Raptors were gone. Here is J. Leo getting a little bit out. Oh, there's a stun on Move for Eternity, but nothing happens there from the rest of the blue team, as they have to be careful here as PCT. Let's take a look. 54 to Suki's 54 as well. Looks like nearly identical builds. Hunter's Guile coming out for Suki, though, to maybe deal with the Rampage, Grux, and Faye, and Kwong debuffs there with the roots and stuff. So you know what? Absolutely love this Hunter's Guile. Definitely a must here for Sparrow now in today's meta. The Blink Charm for PCT, though, that is definitely very strong. Here is the engagement. Oh, J. Lu absolutely melted from Aikido's from Aikido's crowd control. Devil's May Cry is going to get focused as well. Jay Zinky is trying to peel for him with the ultimate. Cancel a little bit early. Jay Zinky, though. Oh, nice dodge here of Aikido, but no, gets absolutely taken out as there is game. The orange team here able to get these minions pushed in the right direction, as definitely they have a minute until all of the blue team here is taken down, and that is game. Guys, fantastic showcase of playing into a team composition strategy. The orange team knew that they could not let the blue team get to the late game, get to that 60 CP at all. And you know, that's exactly what they did. They made sure to get those key ganks in the early game and made sure that they secured an advantage and just snowballed that advantage. Absolutely phenomenal job. It's just absolutely well done. We're going to take a look at the builds now that I, of course, forget about it. So let's take a look quickly at the builds here, as we can see here that it is. Let's go back 10 seconds and then go forward back seconds as well, just to make sure that we have all of the builds here showing very nicely. So here, Rampage here, looks like he's going for Thunder Cleaver, all damage. Yep, all damage Rampage here. 29 with a Thunder Cleaver as well. Whole bunch of cleaving, again, really helps out in the jungle. Clearing those camps, very, very nicely done indeed. Here is PCT Sparrow. Look at that, not even 6-point cards, just simply using that CP to transition into the late game very, very nicely. And you know what, I very much like that. I very much like that. You need to use that 6 CP that's just sitting there in your cards in order to effectively transition there into the late game. And you know what, that's very, 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 very strong. And look at that, mate 2, not as much major kinetic that you would expect, but I would expect that this here would be some would be some kinetic, maybe another Wind Cover Blade or Whirling Wand would come in next here with a little bit of damage as well, as that would fill out the math. Very nice build here by PCT Sparrow, as you know what, they definitely get that transition. They understand their heroes when that power spikes. 11 and 0, fantastically done by PCT. Aikido here going for, yeah, a little bit of a bruiser here. Look at all of that guard. Absolutely works very well against any penetration. Let's see if he has the health to warrant it. A little bit of health. Yes, health. Very nicely done. So looks like he was definitely going into a bruiser. Maybe not as much health as the guard would warrant, but again, that penetration here from if they choose to get it is very sound. So very fantastic build here. The Fae going for a whole bunch of mana stuff. The Adamants with Brother's Ward and Hydroverser, fantastic. That would be indeed a lot of damage. Kwang here going for it. Yes, choosing to be the pseudo support for Honor the Pure. As you know what, I definitely find that that is very, very, very viable. Kwang in today's meta with you know, the other very meta heroes, maybe not the Fae too much, but I find that Kwang can fulfill that role. I like that very much. Honor the Pure, very cool to see. And again, typical Shadow Scroll Kwang with a little bit of Whirling Wand attack speed, very cool. You know, focusing a little bit more attack speed definitely increases the DPS quite a bit. If you can't go into crit, attack speed, very nice. Just a little bit of here, 33%. Awesome. Very nice to see. Very cool. Very well done. Here at Narbash, again, just pure tank here with Honor the Pure. Absolutely fantastic. Serath here looks like she was trying to get some sort of scaling into late game with what cards she could have, quickly going into 12 and 9-point cards. It's what you got to do when you are behind. So that is absolutely, that is great. Burst engines, absolutely love it. I very much like the mana regen as well. Magna Lens going into the first 12-point card here, or 10-point card for Prime. Love it. Magna Lens, great card here for ability pan. Add some mana regen and power. Love it. Love it. Zuki here going for the 100 Skyle. Absolute must on Sparrow. Or Blink Charm, but you can... if you want an escape option but don't want to spend a full-on 5 CP and a equipment slot, Hunter's Guile definitely works very well. You would have been an absolute super hyper carry here at 60 CP, so awesome, great to see. Jay Liu here going for probably a bruiser with Thunder Cleaver. Yes, absolutely is. So well done. Very fantastic builds here. You can see domination of this orange team over the blue team, securing that advantage in the early game against a team that scales in the late game. That is exactly what you need to do. Take a look at the enemy team's composition. Take a look. Do they have 2 carries? Serath and Suki. Well, you really got to kill them early. Can't let them get that CP. And you know what? Fantastically done. Aikido being absolutely bloodthirsty there in that early game to secure those kills, secure those ganks, get that advantage, set the blue team behind so that your team can win. Please, ladies and gentlemen, like this video, like it, dislike it, if you dislike it, share it with the community, of course, subscribe. If you guys like this content, found it useful, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Till next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.